Now, Washington Mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM. And AM 630. WMAL.
8:37 on WMAL. Brian Neiman, Brian Wilson. Special session coming to Annapolis. Yes, of course. You didn't believe the governor when he said, well, maybe we won't have one. Maybe we'll actually have to have one. Of course that wasn't going to be. State Senator Ed Reilly, Republican from Crofton, joins us. Good to have you back on the show, Senator. Thank you very much. Is he there?
Senator, you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I'm here.
We hear you now.
We found you.
So what I read over the weekend is that the deal has been made, right? So what happened? Governor O'Malley, Michael Busch, and the Senate President Mike Miller got together and said, here's how we're going to work this out and get everybody in line.
Exactly right. The deal was done behind closed doors with 3 characters. The handshake was made. The agreement was forged. And now we're calling back 188 legislators to make it official and legal.
All right. So what is the deal then?
The deal is to finish the budget compromise that was almost enacted at the end of April during sine die at the end of the session. Basically, it's $500 million of additional revenue coming to the counties to fund additional projects.
And that money is going to come from people who make $100,000 a year or more, or if you're, I guess, a married couple, $150,000 a year or more.
That's right, but that's half of the increase, Brian. The issue is $200 million plus is coming from income tax revenue. The other half is coming from the shift of the teacher's pension from the state to the county, which is going to require, in many counties, tax increases.
So the counties are going to have to tax you more in order to fund their new allotment obligation that they're forced onto the state. So exactly everybody's going to see their taxes go up for the most part.
Exactly. For instance, Anne Arundel County has a $1.2 billion budget, which was presented by County Executive Leopold 2 weeks ago. And all the dollars are allocated. If all of a sudden the state of Maryland says, oh, Anne Arundel County, you have an $11.5 million pension obligation, the county's going to have to scramble to find out, do we raise taxes? Do we cut police, fire, libraries, parks and recreation? Where are we going to come up with $11.5 million? That's 1% of our budget. Where are we going to find the revenue or find the cuts, which the state is unwilling to do?
All right, so I want to just talk to you because you're talking about a $500 million budget gap.
Yes.
$512 million budget gap that they needed to fill.
Let's focus on that. Did they need to fill it?
Well, that's my question, because am I correct? Did my memory serve me correct that the state budget is somewhere around $34 billion?
35.5 as of April 10th, 2012.
So $35 billion. They needed to find $500 million. Was there no place in the entire budget where they couldn't get, $500 million out of the budget?
Brian, it's a very, very fine question, because I keep asking the question, what are the core functions of the state government?
Yes.
And are we addressing them? And what else is left? When you do that appropriate management question, I have a sense that we could cut 5 or 10% of our state budget if we really got down to the nuts and bolts. The problem is people are used to feeding off of the state trough, and when we put them on a diet, they're unhappy.
Well, so you also have the other side of that is when you raise taxes, you suppress economic activity in the state.
Be careful. Be careful. You're starting to sound like a Republican there, Brian.
And then when you suppress commerce in the state, the amount of tax money you bring in goes down. So it's like this is a formula that doesn't work. What only works is if you actually go in and take a close look at the budget and say, you know what? We didn't bring as much revenue as we had. We need to actually trim the budget. Why is that never the instinct in the state of Maryland?
Well, of course, that the governor has touted the fact that he has cut $7 billion off of our state expenditures over the past 6 years. Unfortunately, those cuts were to proposed increases based upon contracts and union negotiations and estimated cost of living adjustments and inflation. He has trimmed the estimated amount of increase. He's not cut any of the fat out of government. The other interesting thing, Brian, is in the budget there is a reduction of 500 positions of state employees. It'd be easy to say, well, we're cutting 500 paid employees. Unfortunately, there were 500 vacancies which weren't needed to make the government run efficiently. So even though he's cutting employees, he's increasing the cost of government through contracts and contractors and vendors.
Bottom line, hold on to your wallet.
There you are. You got it right.
All right.
Ed Reilly, thanks for joining us as always. We appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Senator from Crofton, Republican.